Hey there, it's Ben from Pattern Profits bringing you the weekend update and weekly watch list for the week of March 21st. We're going to start with IWO, our proxy for small cap growth, able to push above year-to-date anchored VWAP, that red line, and anchored VWAP off of that swing high there using the handoff off of the high anchored VWAP, pushing above there. Now you have the COVID low anchored VWAP, which comes in just above your in 50-65 cloud there. So need to see if it can, any upside continuation, if it can test, push through there. Then you have anchored VWAP off of the high next level up. If we take a look at FFTY, that's the IBD 50 ETF, pushed above year-to-date anchored VWAP there as well, was able to close above there Friday, 50-65 cloud just above. And then if we were to take a look at PDP, the momentum ETF just below year-to-date anchored VWAP, so looking for that tag there, but also within 50-65 cloud. So definitely a nice move off of the low here, 4 straight days of solid upside action in growth stocks. Getting into our watch list, going to start first with TMHC, Taylor Morrison. You'll find this particular setup. There's quite a few of them that look this way, cup with handles just coming up the right side and looking for them to push through these pivots on big volume. 33.42, the pivot here for Taylor Morrison. That again, TMHC, and just looking for the big volume push there through 33.42. Just be aware of a couple of those prior highs, 35.17 and 35.51. The levels above. Also have CHRW. That is C.H. Robinson Worldwide, and as I was saying, looks very similar to what we were looking at with Taylor Morrison, even though they're different groups. Cup with handle pattern, 107.58. Do have a couple of gaps here, but 107.58, the pivot that we're looking for. Good volume coming up the right side, and just looking for continuation there. And again, pushing through that pivot. As always, be aware of the high over here on the left side, 112.15, the high to be aware of. Also have CNXC, Concentrics, and this one, let me zoom out a little bit. Have a descending trend line here, kind of as part of this, basically a flag type look to it. And let me pull volume by price over. And we'll basically go where this starts off the bottom, just so you can see how it came through that volume shelf point of control there, and now coming up the right side. So just kind of looking for it to come through this descending trend line. Good volume on the way up. Now Friday, we had rebalancing, and we had the options of expiration for the quarter. So volumes were strong on Friday, but this had good volume even into Friday. So just looking for that to push through that descending trend line there. Again, that's CNXC, Concentrics. We're also going to take a look at SCCO. It seems like, I think this is the third consecutive week I've had this one on the watch list. Let's move this out a little bit. And we did get the breakout through 70.45 through that pivot. Nice move. Started to flag up here, but then came back in. Retested 50-65 cloud, and year-to-date anchored VWAP caught it, and then nice bounce there. So as we zoom out here, you see this is climbing up the right side of this big cup pattern. Prior high 83.29 over here. So we push through there, 76.78, the standard pivot, looking for it to come through there, run towards a prior high. Can extend this out a little bit too, and maybe gets an early entry through that descending trend line there, but 76.78, the level to watch. Again, that Southern Copper, SCCO. In oil and gas, still keeping an eye on CIVI. We've had this one a couple times over the last few weeks. This consolidation here, 59.65, is the standard pivot above. You do have a little bit of a handle now and descending trend line there may provide early entry when bullish outside on Friday. Back above volume shelf point of control there too. So pushing through there, maybe early entry 59.65 though. The big level in the standard pivot above. Again, that CIVI in oil and gas. Couple flags to look at this week. Mosaic. That's cup with handle pattern came through there nicely, flagged, and then had a nice move. Now looks to be flagging again. 1020 cloud acting as support. Again, that's Mosaic, MOS. Also, another flag in NEX. This one, oil and gas. See how 1020 cloud tends to act as support, and then flags for that next leg. So just looking for that to push through that descending trend line. As always, keep an eye on crude. Keep an eye on OIH, oil and gas names. They do tend to all move together. Couple more. Our old friend, Scorpio Tankers, STNG, cup with handle pattern. 1964, the standard pivot there. Good day on Friday. Reclaiming 1020 cloud and now just needs to push through 1964. Be aware, a couple levels, 2467 over here, 1985 over here. So just that symmetry, 1985 and the high over here. Keep an eye as it pushes through that 1964 standard pivot. Would like to see big volume. Got some hints to it coming up the right side, but definitely want to see that volume pick up through 1964. One more to take a look at, MAXR, Maxar Technologies, this in aerospace defense. Let me zoom out a little bit here. And this one coming up the right side, you had a power earnings gap back here and kind of a double bottom pattern here too. Let me show that. And then once came through that 3170 pivot, big volume. The buyers really took control right here as it came back through year-to-date anchored VWAP and that anchored VWAP off of the power earnings gap. Big move through there. Big volume came in, hinting volume picking up again. So you came through 33.89. The standard pivot was interesting. Came right back and retested that double bottom pivot at 31.70 once that held, then the nice bounce. So now looking for that push through 36.17. Do have a couple levels back here, 37.98 and 42.59 to be aware of on the left side, but making nice progress up the right side. And this group has been acting well. Again, aerospace and defense. That's Maxar Technologies, MAXR. That's all I have into the week ahead. Hope you have a great trading week, and I will see you over on FinTwit.